Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talks to Go. Happy Wednesday, y'all.
Yeah, hump day. It's hump day.
You haven't said that in quite a while.
No, we haven't.
Thank
so
God.
we're back. Hump day.
We're back, and a lot has happened over the past week. A lot has been happening.
Particularly in the world of sports.
There's always stuff going on in the world of sports.
But this was a big weekend.
Of course, it was a big weekend, and if you don't know what we're talking about the AFC and NFC Championships, of course.
And also the Australian Open.
The Australian Open, yes, that as well. So
Right.
They closed out the Australian Open, and now we also know what teams are making their way to the Super Bowl.
So, with
Very
that said,
exciting weekend.
so it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles versus your Kansas City Chiefs. So, let's do some Super Bowl picks. Let's get right to it, okay?
Okay.
So, I'd be shocked.
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
before we do the picks, I want to briefly touch on the Bills versus the Chiefs really quickly.
All right.
So, and I think we should address we posted a video on our TikTok discussing the lore between Haley Steinfeld and Taylor Swift. And there was a load of mixed commentary on our social page, and
keep it coming. We love it.
keep it coming.
Yeah.
But also it was a batch of mixed responses, which I was almost surprised about. And what's even funnier is I saw another podcast talking about the difference between Haley and Taylor, and
Of course, they copied us, right?
of course,
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I didn't like was that, and of course, I'm going to be a Taylor Swift apologist, but I will admit when there are things that I think she's at fault with, but this I take issue with is people shaming her for wanting the attention and thinking she's begging for attention, and Haley doesn't need it because she's a bigger and better person than Taylor and all of this stuff. And I'm like, why are we taking these two women and bashing them against one another? And sorry, but Taylor Swift is more famous than Haley. And I feel like even if she were to go through some private secret tunnel, like, people are going to find out that she's there. They're going to want to know that she's there. And she's going to be seen regardless because the network is going to show her because they know it'll get views. So as much as, there are a lot of things she can take under control because, I'm sure if she requested, hey, I want to be private, like, that could happen. But I feel like there are things that are out of her control because of how famous she is.
I totally agree. Look, until the day Taylor becomes the president of either CBS, NBC, Fox, or ABC/ESPN, where she has the power to call the shots, the camera shots, you can't blame her.
But also, think about it. She lived a private relationship for 6 years. Her relationship with Joe Alwyn was totally under wraps. No one ever really knew what was going on in their relationship. And obviously, her relationship with Travis is the complete opposite. It's very public. But even then, as I mentioned before, like, they're not, out here posting Instagram stories and posting each other on their social media.
They themselves.
She's just out there living her life, and she just happens to be the most famous person in the world. And she can't control what the paparazzi does, what the people on social media do. Everyone just wants a piece of her, and she can't control that, unfortunately. And I almost feel bad for her because she can't ever live or have normalcy because of how famous she is. But I think she also likes going out and doing things with her boyfriend, and
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly, and is gonna go and support him at his game. And unfortunately, it's in a public atmosphere, and she can't help that. So if she wants to go and support her boyfriend at a football game,
more power to her.
Exactly. And sorry if that makes you annoyed or mad.
So let me ask you a question, and then we'll put a bow on the Taylor versus Haley thing.
Yeah.
Taylor obviously was shown on camera during the course of the Bills-Chiefs game.
Twice.
Was Haley?
No.
No. Okay.
But Taylor was only.
Do we know if Haley was there? I'm assuming she was.
I'm assuming she was.
I'm assuming in support of her boyfriend,
yes,
Josh Allen.
And
right?
I also
or fiance, right?
Yeah,
Fiance.
I don't want this to make it seem like I don't like Haley. I love Haley.
No, it's not. Hey,
I love Haley. I love her music. I love a lot of the things she's been in. I support Haley. I support Taylor. I hate the bashing that is going on online because people are, I think what it comes down to is people are jealous and angry that the Chiefs keep winning.
Yep.
And there's a lot of hate and jealousy there. And, unfortunately, Taylor is in the ultra crossfires when it comes to that.
I thought about this, in baseball years ago when the Yankees were winning every single year.
Yeah.
People, they were the team you loved to hate.
Loved
the
to
damn
hate.
Yankees, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the next big Broadway show will be Damn Chiefs, right?
I mean, you had it with the Patriots, back in the day, and now the Chiefs are the modern day Patriots, and they're just doing their thing.
Good.
I think a lot of people were, especially Bills fans, which is totally fair. Like, they have every right to be upset that their team didn't make it to the Super Bowl, and that's totally fine. But a lot of people
got to find a way to get over that Chiefs hump.
A lot of people are bringing up this call and that call, and obviously, yes, I'm gonna say, there are some calls that could have gone the other way and maybe should have gone the other way, but it is what it is. And you know,
look, I think technology, as good as it is, sometimes it fails. And on one particular call, it was the Josh Allen. People said
conversion.
The fourth down where it said,
where he tried to squeeze over the line.
Yeah, some people say, I think Tony Romo or Nance said, a third of the ball was over the line to gain, which would have given them the first down. I think ultimately there will be some type of chip technology.
Yeah.
Where they'll
they
be
put
able
a chip
to.
in the ball.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think that's coming.
Honestly,
and I think it's going to be real soon.
They should. It's kind of like line calling in tennis, where it's like there's only, so much that the human eye can see, and human eye accuracy isn't the most accurate. We know that to be true. So I think that would be a really good idea for them to put like a chip in the ball. And then obviously there'll be sensors at every line in the field, and you'll know exactly if that line has been crossed to get it down.
I'd say within the next 5 years, something like that will be in place.
Well, do you think like the line callers in tennis, then certain jobs in the NFL will go extinct?
No, because I think there are still enough judgment calls to be made.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Where
you need someone like the
you need some subjectivity as opposed to objectivity.
Yeah.
So,
but okay, this is obviously a huge conversation in the NFL. Is the Chiefs are paying the refs and it's rigged and all
bull.
of that.
That's
what
bull.
do you think about that?
Bull. That's bull.
Yeah.
It's bull. Baloney.
Jealousy.
If that were true and that ever came to pass,
biggest investigation ever.
The NFL would blow up.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
So with that said, let's get to our picks. All right.
Let's get to the Super Bowl.
So first of all, who do you think? I know who but we'll get it out there for the record. Who's going to win, Chiefs or Eagles?
The Chiefs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make it a little bit of fun, I'll go with the Eagles.
Okay.
All right. Final score.
Ooh, final score. I think you have a score.
I
do. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm going to think about it.
I say this is going into overtime.
Okay.
It'll be 35.
Did the last Chiefs-Eagles game go into overtime? I don't think it did.
I
don't think it did.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
anyway.
This one goes into overtime. At the end of regulation, it's 35-35.
Okay.
All right. I say the final score, Eagles 38.
Okay.
Chiefs 35.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to say I don't think it's going to be like a super high scoring game. So I'm going to say Chiefs 33 and Eagles 27.
Okay. And by the way, I do know, just so anybody, who wants to take me to task, yes, what's going to happen is 35-35. Each team gets the ball. Neither one, gets into a position where they can score,
you
either
think
a
there's
touchdown or a
double
field goal.
Overtime?
Then the Eagles get the ball back and kick the game-winning field goal.
Wow. Okay.
That's where I'm at. All right.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
So to bring the Kelceys back into this.
Oh, I'm gonna get to a Kelce.
Oh, okay. Because obviously Travis is on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And Jason played on the Eagles.
So who does Donna root for?
No. Who does Jason root for?
Oh, who does Jason root for? That's a good question.
Is Jason gonna be rooting for the team that he played for his whole career?
Correct.
Or is he going to be rooting for his brother? Because obviously when he was in the Super Bowl last time, he was playing against his brother. So obviously, he's on the team. He's rooting for himself.
That is a conundrum.
But we know Kylie is going to be rooting for the Eagles. Yeah, Kylie is an Eagles loyalist.
Fan. Yeah. Yep.
So it'll be curious to see who Jason will be supporting. Maybe we'll get some insight on their podcast this week.
Okay.
Today, but...
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Who is your Super Bowl MVP?
Super Bowl MVP. You go first again.
Okay.
Because I know you have all the answers for this.
This will be his opportunity, sadly for Giants fans.
Yeah.
For him to put a dagger in their hearts.
100%. He already has.
But this is going to be the coup de grace. Right? Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Is your Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
And Giants fans are crying in their beer. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I mean, would you be kind of stupid to say not like Patrick Mahomes?
No, you could go with it.
I mean, I feel like he's the obvious choice, but I'm like, who would be the not obvious choice? I mean, you could say like Chris Jones on defense, or on offense, you could say like Hopkins or Hollywood Brown. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
you want to go?
or Xavier Worthy. There's a bunch of options, but I'm going to go for the obvious pick.
Go with the Mahomes boy.
I'm going with Mahomes.
Mahomes boy.
The Mahomie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now, here's one. This is not a player. There has been speculation that following this game, Tom Brady will say, well, he won't say it at the end of this game, but this will be a one and done for him.
Really?
For him in the broadcast booth.
This is the rumor?
Because there's been speculation because he is a part owner now of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So people are speculating as to whether this will be it for him. Question.
Can you commentate and also be an owner of a team?
Well, he's done it. He is.
He's currently doing it.
Now, he does have some restrictions on what he can and cannot do because of his status as a part owner. Okay?
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you think this is it for Brady in the booth with our good friend Kevin Burkhardt?
No.
I agree with you.
He likes to say there likes to be a lot of things out there of his, this happened with his retirement too, where he said, "Oh, I'm retiring, comes back out of retirement. Oh, I'm retiring, comes back out of retirement." Like, no. I don't think so. Well, I think maybe in the beginning, if it was still going as bad as everyone thought it was going, then yes, but I think he's gained a lot of confidence throughout the entire season, and I think he'll do it again.
Yeah, I think he's got better. Not only that, name me a job where you can get paid, a seasonal job no less, $37.5 million a year.
I mean, there's a bunch of people.
Look, I don't care. As rich as he is, it's tough to walk away from that kind of money.
Of course.
Right? For a seasonal job.
It's crazy.
A seasonal job.
It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So I say he continues. It's going to be KB and TB at least for the next 5 years.
5 years?
Well, he's got a 10-year contract.
Oh.
Yeah, so he just finished year one on his 10-year deal.
If you have a 10-year contract, why would you walk away after year one?
Well,
that's crazy.
Because people are saying that the competitive flame that burns within him is not satisfied as much as it would be if he was more fully entrenched.
Have they asked him? Have they talked to him?
Fox?
No, I'm talking about people in general.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm
people
not that
think,
close with Tom.
Well, exactly. People think, they know everything that's going on in his mind. I'm like, have you spoken to Tom Brady personally?
No. I'm just saying, I've read this. There's been some speculation.
Close sources say?
Well, whoever. Okay. Let's get back to Taylor for a second.
Okay.
All right? Your prediction from not pregame, okay? I don't want no pregame.
No pregame.
All right? So in other words, shots of her walking the tunnel do not count.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
From kickoff to the end of the game.
Okay.
how many times will she appear on camera?
Okay, I'm going to say... So this doesn't count with like the national anthem or anything?
No, kickoff to end of game.
Okay.
And again, it does not, assuming the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, her being with Travis on the field or on the podium doesn't count.
Okay,
right.
I'm going to say 4.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think it'll be that many.
Okay.
If that, honestly. I really don't. Like, even though it's the Super Bowl and her boyfriend is in the Super Bowl, like, even in the AFC or the game before that, in the division championship, right? Travis was playing really, really well that game.
Well, I think a lot of that right. I think the number of times she's shown on camera could be not wholly dependent, but it will be somewhat dependent on his level of success during the course of the game.
But he was playing so well, and they didn't even show her. So okay. I don't think it'll be as many as people like to think.
4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. Another question.
What about you?
I'm going to say 3.
3. Okay.
I'll say 3.
Okay.
Who of note, of public fame, do you think will be with her in this? Wasn't Billie Eilish in the suite with her?
No.
Why am I thinking that?
No, Blake Lively.
Blake Lively. All right. Who else will be in the suite with her?
Okay.
Will be recognizable to the general public.
Last time she brought an entire posse. I don't foresee that happening this time. I think she's going to have Mama Swift, Andrea, Papa Swift.
But again, they're not public figures.
No, they are.
Well,
they are people,
okay.
But I'm including them.
All
so,
right. Okay.
Papa Swift, Scott, Mama Swift, Andrea, brother Austin, her best friend and stylist to the stars, Ashley Avignon. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Okay.
I don't think Blake and Ryan will be there because of all of this public court battle that is happening. Right. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think she'll want to be front facing in public.
Okay.
Maybe Kelly Teller and Miles Teller because they're huge Eagles fans. So I don't know if they'll be getting their own box, but I definitely know the Tellers will be there. So I'll be curious to see if they're in the same box as Taylor. And maybe we'll see Caitlin Clark again. Who knows?
What about Madison Keys?
With Taylor?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
No, but Iga is a huge Taylor fan.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it's huge. But
now, is Taylor friends with Iga?
No, not friends, but I know Taylor has invited Iga to a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stay with Taylor for a second. All right?
Yep.
Question. How many Super Bowl commercials do you think Taylor will be in?
None.
Okay.
You think she'll be in a commercial?
I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know.
No.
All right.
No, she will not be in it.
Flip side.
Yep.
How many Super Bowl commercials do you think Travis will be in?
Well, if they play, do you think they're going to play some of the ads they've been playing throughout the entire season?
Possible.
Okay, so
how many different commercials do you think he'll be in? How many times will you see? Like I said, he could be in multiple State Farm commercials. I'll make it up.
Wait, but if it's the same commercial played
well, they won't play the same spot.
Okay.
But they could be different commercials in what they call the pool, the commercial pool.
Okay.
For the same sponsor.
I'm going to say
advertiser.
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Same for you?
I'm going to say 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see him 4. Mahomes, who knows how many times?
A bajillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here's my $1 million question.
Oh, God. Okay.
Would you not agree that the game could possibly be or possibly attract one of the largest television audiences ever?
Well, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
With that said.
Yep.
Especially if the Chiefs win. At the end of the game.
I know what you're going to ask.
At the end of the game, does Travis get down on his knee?
Oh, no, Dad, please.
I'm going to ask you, and just give me your answer.
No, that's not what I thought you were going to ask me.
That happened at I think it was divisional playoff games with the Eagles, where one of the Eagles players
I saw
proposed to his girlfriend, pulled her out of the stands, proposed.
Yeah, no.
So when what could be one of the biggest television audiences ever.
Absolutely not.
Does he propose to Taylor?
No.
Post game?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. That is never happening.
Okay.
I don't think we will know right away when they get engaged. I think they'll be engaged for about a month, and then we'll know. Right. I don't think that's not happening.
Here's my last question in regards to Super Bowl.
I thought you were going to ask something completely different.
Okay. Whether they win or whether the Chiefs win or lose.
Maybe this is the question I was thinking you're going to ask.
Does Travis retire from football?
That's what I thought you were going to ask.
Okay, does he retire from football?
Okay, so on one hand, I think yes, but on the other hand, I feel like when I was listening to an episode of New Heights, he alluded to the fact that he maybe has one more year in him. So I don't think it'll matter if they win or lose. Obviously, I think if they win, maybe that'll be more of like, okay, I want to go out on a high note kind of thing. But I mean, Jason retired the year after they lost to the Chiefs. So I don't think winning or losing will have anything to do with his decision, but I don't know. I think there'll be one more year, possibly. What do you think?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I think he is so passionate about the game.
Like, he hasn't lost his love for the game. You know that.
And he loves the game.
Yeah.
It's really tough to walk away from something you love that much.
Of course.
By the same token, particularly if they win, if they get the three-peat, which has never been done before.
Right.
He has, I believe, God knows how many records, regular season and now Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There really would be nothing left in the game for him to accomplish.
I know.
Financially,
a four-peat.
Financially, he's set for life. So money, I don't think.
Money's not.
That's not an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to go on to have.
He'll be fine.
An acting career, a TV, some type of media career, or do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. Right. So that's
retirement.
That's not a concern.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's really a tough one.
Yeah. How soon after the Super Bowl do you think we'll get an answer?
I don't know. I think obviously you'd have to know prior to OTAs I think are in May. I think you're going to know within the next couple of months following the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I think that's the question that everyone is asking. Will Travis play for another year? And I think if he does come back for one more year, I think that'll be his last year.
Now, they do have a good couple of tight ends behind him. So, in regards, to the Chiefs, that, there'll be somewhat of a void, but not a big void.
Yeah. But obviously there'll be a void with that magic of Pat
course.
And Travis. Yeah. They like are mind readers with one another.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah.
All right, so we'll see how our picks
and predictions
come
play out.
Yeah, picks, predictions, same thing. Anyway,
should we go over to the Australian Open?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so obviously this past weekend were the men's and women's singles, and doubles for everything. Just
finals for the Australian
Open.
AO.
And Madison Keys pulled out a victory, and it is a prediction that I made. I said Madison Keys was going to pull it out, and she did. And
kudos to you.
It was quite a match, and she won 7-5 in the third set. I mean,
over Aryna Sabalenka.
It really could have gone either way because Madison dominated the first set, Aryna dominated the second set, and then obviously it was a very tight battle in the third set, and she pulled it out, and it was so exciting. And just to see her team like so overjoyed and happy for her, it was awesome. Yeah. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, speaking of that, we talked about, the women's being 3-set. If there was one rule, if somebody said, okay, you are now the head of professional tennis.
Yeah.
There is one rule that I would change. And I know there's a lot of tradition in this. I get it. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in non-slam tournaments.
Non-majors,
men's competition, they're always three sets, right?
Yeah.
I would have that be across the board for men.
Yeah, well, this is a question that is brought up a lot, which is 5 sets too many in the slams? And people have brought up, well, maybe it can be 3 sets, and then for the final match, it's a 5-setter. But it's like if you're gonna do 3 sets for everything up until the slam final, you might as well just have it 3. Yeah, it's a very big question because obviously the matches go deep into the night. I mean, some even like 3, 4 a.m., which is crazy.
It's not good for the sport. No, I don't think it's good for the sport.
It's not good for the sport. It's also not good for the players. Like, they are then put off their schedule. And, if they're playing a night match that goes until 3 a.m. Then after that, they have to go back and do physio and their cool down, and that takes hours. And then they don't go to bed until 5 a.m. in the morning. And then if they have a day match the next day or they're second on court, then...
Look, I know for the tennis aficionado, you can't get as much tennis as you want. I understand how people would feel about that.
My sleep schedule was effed regardless.
My feeling is And look, I like tennis. I'm not as passionate about it as a lot of people are, perhaps even you. I just find 5-set matches to watch as a spectator to be somewhat tedious.
I mean, they go on really long.
I think I just like to see 3 sets.
3 close sets.
3 close sets.
Yeah, I mean, it would be more compact. It would obviously be shorter. Players wouldn't be going to bed so late. So I think there are a lot of upsides to having 3 sets. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's always a topic of conversation at these majors. So who knows? I mean, like you said, it's a sport built on tradition. And I know
every sport has its tradition, but every sport somehow, they always
evolve with the times.
It evolves. They reevaluate.
Just with like the line callers, it's
exactly.
I think it's at every single major now. I even the French Open, which has been known to not have automatic line calling. Like, you have the umpire coming down after every close ball and checking to see if the ball has hit the tape or not. I mean, it's crazy. And like we said before with football and all of that, it's like there's only so much that the human eye can see, and technology is just that a little bit more accurate.
Well, I find it interesting also when you think about it. Now you've got the 4 majors: Australian, the French, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and then the U.S. Open. We now have to wait almost another 4 months for the next major.
Yeah, well, it's because, Australia is going through summer right now, so they have to have it in the warm months.
It's a weather situation.
It's a weather situation. Yeah. But, I mean, it's also, we saw the weather throughout the Australian Open, and that was up and down.
Hey, look, just get back. Kudos to Maddie Keys. I know her so well, Maddie, as opposed to Madison.
I mean,
kudos to Madison
Maddie.
Keys. That I read, interestingly, and I think I have this right, she's the second oldest woman at 29 to ever win a major.
Which is crazy, because 29 is not even old.
I feel good for her. She turned pro when I think she was 13.
Oh, I thought it was 16, but...
At 13, I think. Okay. I think she's been at this for 16 years.
It's crazy. Perseverance.
I love that.
And stick-to-itiveness.
I just love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really exciting for her. I'm really happy for her. Hopefully she can ride on this high and keep it going.
Yeah, we'll see.
That'll be lovely.
We'll
see. Should we go over to men's? Okay. On the men's side, it was a little bit of a different story because you had the world number 1, same with, and the world number 2, and the world number 2. So you thought it was going to be a very competitive and tight battle, and it really wasn't. I mean, the second set, there was a tiebreak, and that was very close. But then in the third set, it's almost like Zverev lost hope in himself. And it almost felt like he gave up. And, maybe he did. Maybe he just wasn't having a good mental day on court. And, that's where he lost, was his mental toughness. And that filtered into how he was playing in the third set.
Jannik Sinner,
and it was easy for him.
Is amazingly consistent.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question in that regard then.
It was easy for Jannik to pull out the win.
What do you think's going on with Alcaraz?
This has been brought up a lot. I think they said that Alcaraz has trouble with being consistent. And I think Alcaraz takes a few more risks on court with the types of shots that he tries to pull off because he's very much of a showman on court. He likes to, have a really cool winner or do something really cool and tricky. So I think that sometimes comes into his play, and instead of just maybe playing a little more conservative or boring, if you want to call it that. He wants to pull out all the stops, and that's why he ebbs and flows a little bit more because Jannik has more consistency in his
putting
play.
that aside for the moment, I think probably, and I think you would agree with this one of the bigger viewing highlights for me of the Australian Open was not the play. It was Alcaraz's interaction with one of the ball kids. Oh, what was the kid's name? John.
Oh my God, it was the cutest thing.
I got to tell you, Carlos, for being only 21 years old, Mr. and Mrs. Alcaraz, his mom and dad, you did something right.
Yeah, no, he's
because
just a lovely guy.
Because he is so gracious. The way he interacted with this kid, mature, well beyond his years. As I said to your mom, Carlos has got an old soul. He really does.
Yeah.
It was so heartwarming to see his interaction with this kid.
It was the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it made the kid's day.
Oh, it made his life.
Yeah, no, yeah. And the kid was like, "I'm so famous," and I don't know what accent to talk in, but he's like, "I'm so famous. I'm getting all the likes, the comments, the views, like everything," and it was just so genuine.
Yeah.
And so sweet.
I could see 15 years from now at the Australian Open, a reunion with a 36-year-old Carlos Alcaraz and John, who will be, 25 maybe.
Crazy.
You could see that happening, right?
Yeah, that would be so
sweet. I could definitely see that happening.
And he flips the coin at his match.
Oh, it was so heartwarming.
No,
it really
sweet.
was.
If
you haven't seen the video, go onto YouTube or Hulu, wherever you can, or YouTube,
TikTok or Instagram,
whatever. Go find this because you will enjoy it.
It's very sweet. One more thing, going back to the Zverev and Sinner match, is another big thing that's always talked about at the majors is the fashion and what the players are wearing on court. And the entire time that Sinner and Zverev were playing, I was like, oh, they look like ketchup and mustard.
That's a good one.
Because Zverev was wearing
you could call them the condiment twins.
No,
right?
they were. Yeah. Zverev was wearing red and Sinner was wearing yellow. And that's all I could think about once I had that thought come in my mind is
that's pretty
they
good.
Literally look like ketchup and mustard.
I like that.
And unfortunately, mustard came out on top.
There you
go. Do you like ketchup or mustard better?
I'm more of a mustard fan.
Okay. And
I'm the weird guy who on my burger, I much prefer mustard over ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of mustard, though?
Typically, I like
Dijon?
spicy brown, not yellow. Not yellow.
Okay.
I like the deli mustard brown.
And I think I like ketchup more, but I do like them mixed together. Like on my hot dog, I like
that. I think
mustard.
The earliest remembrance I have of that is McDonald's. When I was a kid, McDonald's would always put ketchup and mustard.
They automatically did it?
Yeah, as I recall, they did. Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
And I don't know, for some reason, I could.
I
know my foot. I know
your
most
food
people are going to say,
George,
you are weird. And yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I will go to my grave having never eaten a cheeseburger or
grilled cheese
or a burger with ketchup.
Like just ketchup.
Just ketchup. I know that's strange. I know I'm probably in the 0.1%. I don't know what it is.
Well, some people just prefer mustard over ketchup, and that's fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely on hot dogs. And here's the thing, and I'll go back, and then we'll get off of this. I'll probably put a bow on this baby. But anyway, what I want to start doing is how the hot dogs were prepared
in Iceland.
When we went to the hot dog stand.
I always do that now. Ever since then, I've always done that.
And it makes a lot of sense. It's bun, mustard.
Well, not mustard, but condiment.
Or condiment, hot dog.
Yeah.
As opposed to bun, hot dog, condiment. Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
Then the condiments don't get everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So from now on, that's how I roll.
It makes way more sense.
I'm going Icelandic hot dog.
But Icelandic hot dogs they slap.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Oh, that was
their hot dog drive-through.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep. That one, it was not in Reykjavik.
No.
It was in a little town. I forget the name of the town.
But if you're ever in Iceland, get their hot dogs.
Exactly.
You wouldn't think so, but they're really, really good. Okay, before we leave, we have to get back into our obsessions.
Okay.
So do you have an obsession?
Oh, yes, I do.
Is it the same as last week?
No.
Oh,
not
okay. I thought, okay, go for it then.
My obsession last week was?
The creamy.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe then it is.
You can't have the same obsession.
I can't have the same
No,
obsession.
it's a weekly obsession.
Okay, why don't you go for yours, then I'll come back to me.
Okay, my obsession is... Teddy Swims, the musical artist, came out with a new album, and it slaps. Yeah. It's so good. I mean, he's one of those singers. He reminds me a little bit of Sam Smith or Adele. It just has this like standalone voice where he doesn't need all the gimmicks and everything. Like he can just stand there and sing, and it'll captivate a room. And he's such a soulful voice, and it really hits you in the heart and in the gut, and it's so beautiful, and his songs are amazing, and he has one on this new album with Giveon, who is another one of my favorite artists, and I need to finish listening to it, but it's what I've listened to so far is amazing, and props to him. He's an incredible artist.
I really like Teddy Swims as well. Okay, my obsession is, I don't think I've gone down this road before, and if I have, it's been a long, long time.
And I'll copy you on that.
And that is New York Times word games.
I mean, I'm sure that's been your obsession before.
But at one point it might have been one of them. The deal is every morning, and it could be sometimes when I get up in the middle of the night, okay?
Yep.
I start off with the spelling bee.
Yep.
Then I either finish the bee. In other words, and I'm not a genius, but they have these different stages, and I'd like to get to the genius level.
I think a lot of people know what the bee is. Yeah.
Okay. Then I go from there to strands, which is a relatively new game for
I think
the
it's
Times.
Still in like beta testing.
Right? It is?
I don't know. Maybe not.
No,
don't quote me on that.
Then I go to a Wordle. Wordle. And then this is not New York Times, so this will be a new wrinkle.
What about connections?
No, I've stopped doing connections.
Okay, I know you don't do the crossword, but you would be so good at the crossword.
At one point, I was doing the mini crossword. I don't have patience for the regular one. I will admit that.
Again,
but the other thing that I do, and it's not a New York Times game.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
Which one do you think?
The baseball one.
Yeah, it's baseball called Immaculate Grid.
Yeah.
I love doing that one as well. So this is how my every morning starts off. It's definitely
your morning routine.
It's an obsession.
It's your morning routine. It gets your day started.
But I'm obsessed with doing this.
But you know what? It's also it might feel bad for the brain, but it's actually good for the brain.
No, I think it is.
I think it's good for the brain. It gets your mind stimulated and keeps you in check.
Yeah, I'm so far I'm 6 points away from today's Gene. It's a hard one today. Have you done it?
The one you did today won't be the one that we're doing once.
Yeah, I know, but have you
it's
done
released? Yeah, I started it.
Okay.
Yep.
You haven't gotten to Genius yet.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Nope.
Did you get the Pangram?
Yep.
Okay.
That one was easy.
Yeah, Pangram was pretty easy today.
That one was easy.
All right. So with that, we're 2 weeks out, a little bit less than 2 weeks out from the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And
the Grammys are next weekend.
It's possible we'll have a guest next week. Possible.
We'll see.
Possible.
We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated.
I think we'll definitely be back post Super Bowl to see how our predictions came out.
I'm excited for that. Yeah. And the Grammys are the weekend before.
So with this, I'm going to say, and I'll fly, Eagles, fly.
How about them Chiefs?
How about them Chiefs?
How about them Chiefs?
All right, guys.
With that,
have a great week.
Put a bow
on it.
Yep.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.